Okay guys, so no crazy intro because I don't want to scare my new investment in Doge right away. This is what Elon Musk has been talking about, right? But no, seriously, we're going to do exactly what we talked about in the clickbait headline right here. I'm going to show you investments. What are you doing? Stop it. Stop it. I'm going to show you some investments that are way better than Bitcoin and Ethereum if you're looking to, let's just be straight, make a lot of money really, really quickly in crypto. And what I'm going to show you in this video, not financial advice, you can lose money doing this, but I'm going to show you a bunch of things in crypto that are basically guaranteed money with asterisks and all the kind of disclaimers around it. What I mean by this is things like IDOs, things like getting on very, very, very early NFT projects. These things really only go up, but the counter to it is you have to find these things super duper early. I'm also going to be showing you a few things you can look at in terms of the news that are usually going to indicate a altcoin that's about to go up. More so, I want to show you basically how the news controls altcoins and how they go up and down and up and down, even if the fundamentals are still exactly there, and how you can spot altcoins that have gone down because of the news, while their fundamentals and the greatness of the project are still there. If you can spot these things, it's generally easier to make those large 2-3x ROIs that you're probably looking for in the marketplace than putting it in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's a lot less risky because you can take the money in and out of the market before the silliness that's going to happen is going to happen. Let me show you. Okay guys, first off, before I get going, I know I'm going to get crucified for people telling me that like Bitcoin and Ethereum are the worst thing to hold. And frankly, looking at ROIs, that's true, but I need to explain it even more. On top of that, at the beginning of this video, I talked about guaranteed 30Xs. There are things in crypto that do that consistently. Okay, I'm not talking about, I'm not going to tell you any coins to buy or any magic tactics you can use. There's things like IDOs that are taking off. There are things like looking at news, and there's things like buying projects that's news have hit it even though the fundamentals have changed. If you understand these things, you can make money. I think you can make a lot more money than just purely investing in Ethereum, and these things aren't that hard to do. So the first thing I need to stress with you right now is that if you've watched this market for a while now, you're going to notice that when Bitcoin and Ethereum are going up, particularly Bitcoin, everything's going to be going up. And what you must understand is that when everything is going up, usually it's going to provide better returns than Ethereum and Bitcoin, period. Okay, the altcoins simply provide better returns. And if Bitcoin's doing okay, usually the altcoins are going to be climbing up and trailing it and providing better returns following in its wake. Okay, so for example, if we just look at Ethereum right now, let's imagine we put, I don't know, on January 6th, we put in $10,000 in Ethereum, okay? By right now, we'd have an extra $7,000. We go look at Avalanche, which is like the little brother to Ethereum. We would have, and this is a well-known project, a very good project that frankly has almost as much potential as Polkadot or ADA in my opinion. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is not to buy it right now. Okay, the market cap for this is too high for us to pump this, but just don't buy based on this video. Use the thinking and logic that I'm going through right here. Anyways, if we put in the same amount into this project around the same time frame, we would have nearly $60,000 right now. Okay? And so you got to ask yourself when you're looking at this marketplace, knowing that as long as Ethereum and Bitcoin are going to keep going up, these things are going to keep doing these things. What's the best way to really make money here? You make the profits in the altcoins and you stick it back in Ethereum and Bitcoin when they're charging, or you just stick it back once you've made enough profit from it, you just stick it back in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay. I told you guys my strategy in the last video is to make money trading and flipping alts, and then at the end of the bull run, when everything is hopefully exit the bull run at a good point and use all that extra money to buy back Bitcoin after it's crashed. That's my strategy. But if we're looking at how we can maximize our profits in this bull run, it really doesn't make much sense to be holding on Ethereum, particularly when there's really good projects that are going to go up at a much faster rate than Ethereum. And for example, Avalanche is not a shot in the dark project. It's a really, really good project. Knowing these things, that's why I said, hey, you know, if you want to make a lot of money, say you want to turn $100 into $5,000, $10,000 at this bull run, you can do that if you're really smart about how you target what you're doing. And I want to stress, I'm not a crypto guru. This is not financial advice. I'm not selling you any altcoin course. I'm not selling you a damn thing on this channel. Okay? I really wish I'd known this at the beginning of the bull run because I'd be up literally nearly tens of millions of dollars more. It'd be comical if I'd known this information right here. So I'm just sharing it with you. And this is not me coming from the world's greatest crypto trader. This is just exactly how the marketplace flows. So what are the easiest ways to 30x your money in crypto without any hype? So I want to tell you this first story right here. So this is a coin right here called SuperFarm. This is very, very popular coin. I don't own any of it right now because I think that the price is a little high. I think the market cap is unjustifiably high, but I do think it's going to do big things. Okay, so the price of this coin right here is at $1.94 on PokeStarter, which is where you can basically get in the project super early. Okay, you can buy a project at its launch price. The original launch price for SuperFarm was it was 0.02 cents, so it was basically 2 cents. So this is almost, I don't even know the math on that. It's 100x by now. That's 100x'd. So when this IDO went off, I got into this IDO, but I messed up the registration process. I was one of the few people that got in, not through luck. You can apply on Twitter through whitelist. And I was able to put in about $500. That $500 would be worth, I don't know, like $50,000 to $70,000 right now. Yeah, 100x, it would be worth 50,000 grand. So the thing you need to understand about IDOs, and it's exactly what happened in 2017, where you're just getting insane returns on these things, is that if you're able to get in on these things, it's quite difficult. You have to apply, you have to go through a lottery, and the only other way you can actually get into these a lot easier is by holding 3,000 polls, which is the equivalent to about, that's going to cost you about $15,000 right now. So if you have $15,000 laying around, just sticking your money in polls right now, just to hold them, and then attempting to get into these PokeStarter launches while they're going on is an easy way to make money if you get in. Okay, it's very low risk because why? These things always 10 to 50x when they launch. You can't find a single one of these where it didn't explode right off the bat. If we go look at Pokemarkets, I think that did like a 50, 60x. BMI, which is actually one of my favorite cryptos, and I'm going to talk about here in a second. Please do not buy anything based on this video. I own these things, and if you guys do pump these, I will sell them in a pump, okay? And a lot of these things, it's not a good time to buy them. I'm just talking about general things so you get what I'm talking about right here. But I'm pretty sure BMI, you could have gotten in on this one, and this one I believe started at 12 cents, and it's now at $4. And so you can see on the launch days of these IDOs, they just absolutely explode. And so what's my first tip to you? One of the easiest ways to make 30, 50x ROIs in this marketplace is by just getting in the IDOs. These are very difficult to get into. You have to take the lottery function, but if you can get into one of these things right here, you could easily turn $200 into $10,000, $20,000. This consistently happens. I can't name an IDO that has not 20 to 50x'd in the last 2 months. And then you can just dump it right after, so there's no risk. This is something you should know about, especially if you can hold 3,000 polls. Okay, so that's my first tip for you right there. So what's my next tip? What you want to do in this market right now that I've made a lot of money doing is you want to find very early NFT projects. Now, I'm sure you've seen me talk about thick Pokemon on this channel. It's kind of left a station, so I'm not telling you to buy thick Pokemon right now. Maybe if you get in their drops coming up, great. But this is a thick Charizard right here that just sold for $30,000, okay? And if we come down here and look at the price right here, literally 7 days ago, it was sold for 0.16 ETH. That's like $200. Okay? So what does this mean? I told you last video, this is a 7-day, 900 insane % ROI. I told you in the last video that what you should be doing is go to crypto Twitter, and you should be following everyone in the NFT space. Why? Because they're very vocal about the projects they're getting into. And if you see a project you really like and it's just starting, you can usually get it in at these crazy prices right here. Now look, I understand not everybody has $200 to, this is about $200, $300 right here. I understand not everybody has $300 to bet on a collectible card right here. Okay? But at this price right here, your downside risk and the potential reward is huge. Does every project do this? No, not at all. But you see lots of projects do this. And so if you can get projects at their very base price, which is usually going to be like 0.1, 0.01 ETH, that is an easy way to massively make huge ROIs with minimal risk because, again, we're only putting in a couple $100. You're not going to make $30,000 on Bitcoin at $100. However, this project wasn't exactly hidden. It was just small. Okay. Same thing with Mooncats. So you can see these Mooncats right here go for like 1 ETH. This is about $2,000. I got almost like a ton of these. I got about 15 of these Mooncats for nothing. Like they were actually free. And how did I do this? By following crypto Twitter. Again, minimal risk to me. I literally I saw a buddy of mine or acquaintance of mine, Justin, on Twitter. He said, dude, I just found this new project is launched. It's the second NFT ever made. Nobody knows about this. He posted it right on Twitter. And I went and just started mining these things. I was getting them for about $50 in gas fee left and right. I was able to get 14 of them before they were all out. I flipped a bunch of them the other day for 1 ETH, 0.8, and I've made like $6,000 on that, but I still have almost $20,000-$30,000 left in the chamber. I'm just waiting for the price to go up even more on these when the market starts getting in there. So that's again me turning. If I gone in the SuperFarm, that would have been $500 turned into $50,000. This right here, I turn, I don't know, $600, $700 easily into $20,000, $30,000 worth of value. Same thing even with thick Pokemon. I got in on a lot of those really easily, and then they've doubled this week. Am I saying flip NFTs? No, please watch my other NFT video where I talk about how to cover your butt when you're doing these things. But again, this is what you want to look for. Now I'm going to show you 2 more tips in this video as well. So one tip I'm going to give you just right off the bat right here is I'm not going to tell you actually to watch this video. What I'm going to tell you is a really good tip that's worked for me. And I learned this from another channel, and he has a much better video on this, is just go watch JRNY Crypto. He does a very simple tactic where he just goes and finds the news coming up on coins, and then he buys them. And then I followed his trades. I've done the same trades. They've made me a killing. Okay, for example, Engine had a ton of cool things coming out this month, and so I followed his strategy. He was actually just buying Engine, and so he bought Engine, and bada bing, it popped off. Because of all the news coming out. Same thing with Cardano. So that's another way you can make a lot of money in this market. Just go watch his video. It's the newest one on his channel. After this, I'll link to it in the video below. Another really great way to make money in this marketplace is look at the projects that have little brothers. So for example, Ethereum, its market cap, you have to understand, everybody's going all over Ethereum, and whether you think it's the future or not, its market cap is $200 billion. For it to get the double in price, it has to go to $400 billion. That is an ungodly amount of money. Okay? Then we can look at something like Avalanche. Okay? Market cap, it's a very similar project to Ethereum, and its market cap is only $4 billion. It is just so much more likely that Avalanche in this bull run will get to, I don't know, $20 billion than it is for Ethereum to get to $1 billion. Now, I think Ethereum will $1 trillion. Now, I think Ethereum will do that, but just the odds of it, just where money is going to be put around, it's just so much more likely right there. That's another thing you have to think about in this bull run about when you're moving your money around. Look at the market caps of the projects. Ethereum is a lot more like an Amazon at this point, and Avalanche is a lot more like, I don't know, Uber in its first stages. Consider these things when you're thinking about your investments. Look at the market caps and look at the quality of the project. Avalanche is, again, a great project. I'm not shilling this to you. I just think it generally is, and it's a large enough market cap that it really doesn't matter. If we generate 50 million in this video that gets invested here, it's not going to matter. So that's another thing I look at when I'm making my investments. What are the market caps? Okay, and then what's the quality of the project? And so find the little brothers. For example, Uniswap has a massive market cap right now. If we go look at Uniswap, everyone's raging about it, and it could go up a lot, but it has a $15 billion market cap. If we look at 1inch, which is another exchange, it has a $636 million market cap, and it's, in my opinion, a better product. So if I want to double my money here, you got to think to yourself, you know, those 2 methods I showed you before, how to do it without risk, but then if we're going to do this, and again, there's always risk in these things, guys. You could always lose your money. Just be very aware of that. But again, if I want to go and I want to 5x my money, and preferably, I think that the most risky thing to do is try to ride out this market deep into the bull run. What I would want to do if I wanted a lower risk way is I would try to get into the bull run and get out as fast as possible. So if I wanted to 5x my money, I think 1inch has a much better chance of getting to a $2 billion market cap than Uniswap has of getting to let's say a $60 billion market cap. I just think that's it. So look for the little brother projects. That's worked really, really well for me. The final thing that I look for, and I don't think you guys should buy these projects right now because they just pumped, okay? But 2 of my favorite projects are Bridge Mutual and Paid Network. And I just made a lot of money on Bridge Mutual. Okay, why? Okay. So Bridge Mutual has been on absolute fire with all the partnerships and all they're doing. And what I suggest you do is your favorite projects, follow them on Twitter and see what they're actively doing. Bridge Mutual is just all over the place. They're constantly making partnerships. They work super hard. And so what I looked for is the news on Bridge Mutual. They launched right here on their IDO, and then it just went down, 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 down. But the project's still great. And so when I saw the project going down, market cap wise, but I saw what the team was working on being phenomenal, well, it was a no-brainer to invest right here. So I got in like right here, and then bada bing, I've like doubled my money in about a week just getting on Bridge. I really think a little bit of this dip right here had something to do with paid network getting hacked. But again, that's what I want to look for. I want to look for what a project is doing fundamentally. And if the fundamentals on a project that I really like haven't changed, but it's going down, that's when I buy it up a lot. Again, I think that's a lot easier way to make a quick return in this marketplace than sticking in Ethereum and Bitcoin. And as you can see, worked right there. Another really interesting thing that I'm going to look at right here, and please do not buy these, okay? This thing is just pumped right here, and it could keep going down, okay? If you buy any of these things from these videos right here, I do not. This is not me telling you to buy something right now. This is just me showing you some things that really work for me. So one thing that I also really like to do in a marketplace is when I see something go down, but the fundamentals are still the same. For example, Paid Network right here just got hacked, okay? So their valuation went from like it was blown up. It was one of the most popular ones, and it just went. Okay, and now it's kind of like right here doing nothing. But nothing's changed about the project. The currency itself doesn't have that much to do with the project itself. It just has to do with a backdoor hack happening. And this happens with new software. It just does. Does this mean the project is broken and the team is bad? No, it literally doesn't. So what I'm looking at right here is I'm saying like, what was this trading at most of the time? Like it was up here, okay? It crashed down to here, and now it's right here, and I got in about right here, I believe. And so I had to think to myself, like, what's Paid Network likely going to do? All right, well, the same fundamentals of the project are the fundamentals that were right here. So I believe it's just going to go back right up here eventually, as soon as they get some like good news or a good partnership or something like that. And then again, it has a really low market cap. And so I just think it's going to go back up. I don't think you should buy this right now. I think this is a really risky investment. So please don't buy this. I'm just showing you how I'm making a lot of profits in this bull run and what my logic is. So to wrap this all up, how I try to look at things is I hold a lot of Ethereum and I hold a lot of ADA, and those are kind of like my savings accounts, for lack of better words. And I'm not a big fan of Ethereum, but I'm kind of coming around to it a little bit. But a lot of the things I said in my last Ethereum video still stand. But I think it's going to overcome its problems. You just have to be aware of the problems. So ADA and Ethereum are kind of my savings account, because I believe these in this market. I think ADA is going to probably 5 to 7x from here, and I think Ethereum is going to at least 3 to 4x. So let's imagine this, guys. Let's say I put $20,000 in an altcoin. It 5x's. For example, like I showed you guys B20, I put about 60, 70,000 on there, it 4x'd on me. Well, what did I do? Okay. Well, what I then use that for is I put a lot of that back in ETH and ADA, and then I split that along a lot of the altcoins that I just told you about. Okay. That being Engine and a lot of other smaller altcoins that I'm not gonna mention in this video. So what did I then do with that? So I took that multiple $100,000 payday that I made from that program, and then I put it in ETH and ADA. ADA has just blown up today, and so instead of me holding into that altcoin and thinking, okay, cool, maybe I'll hold on for another 2x, what I'm gonna do is put in ADA that's gonna 5x, and then I know that, okay, cool, so I made a 4x right here, now I'm about to make a 5x, that's a 20x of the money that was originally in B20. This is how I'm gonna look at things when I'm investing in crypto. And then at the end of the market, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna wait for Bitcoin to crash, because that's probably what's gonna come first. Ethereum and ADA are probably gonna skyrocket that time. I'm gonna sell my Ethereum and ADA and then buy Bitcoin. That's the play. That's the play. Now, during this time, my main goal is to flip as many altcoins and then stuff them in ETH and ADA, and then also redistribute that to other altcoins that are going up. I told you what I do in this video. What I'm going to do is first off, look for the easy flips where it's like 30, 50x ROIs. That's going to be those IDOs. Okay, if you can get on the whitelist, and if you guys want me to in the comment section, just say make an IDO video. I'll talk about my experience with IDOs. That's going to be getting in the IDOs. That's going to be finding really unknown NFT projects and buying them at the dirt level. Okay, so this is, again, this isn't consistent. It depends if you have an eye for it or not. The last few projects I've gotten in have skyrocketed, and I mentioned them, Mooncats and Thick Pokemon. By the way, the ship has sailed on those. But these two ones right here are easy ways for me to make an extra, it just depends on the week, but an extra $50,000 to $60,000 without really taking much risk. I know there's no IDOs that have not 30 and 50x. And if I pick a good one of these ones right here, worst case scenario, I'm going to lose $1,000. Best case, I make like $30, $40, $50,000. Just like with Mooncats and Thick Pokemon, if I got into Thick Pokemon just a little bit earlier. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be watching all those news. I'm going to be watching the news every single month, and I'm going to look at what coins have a lot of potential to spike in the month. That JRNY crypto video I mentioned is a great resource for that. Okay. Just doing that, I know these coins are probably going to deliver better returns for the month than Bitcoin. For example, Avalanche has delivered a much better return than Ethereum. Engine has delivered a much better return than Ethereum. Both of those ones have, at least Engine has, almost 2 to 3x at this point. Okay. What happens? Boom, throw that back in the ADA and Ethereum. Next plays I'm going to look for is I'm looking for great projects that are currently down despite doing awesome things, because eventually one of these awesome things is going to hit and it's going to go like that. Very similar to what happened to BMI. On top of that, what I'm also going to look for is little brother projects like Avalanche to Ethereum and ADA. Okay, Avalanche has great potential. It's a really good project, but I believe it's super undervalued because of its super low market cap. Same thing with 1inch and Uniswap. Uniswap is the biggest decentralized exchange. 1inch, I think, is a better product on some days of the week. And I think this has much more chance of 5xing than Uni does. So you have to weigh those into your investments. What things are going to 5 to 6x? Is 1inch a lot more riskier than Uni? I don't know, to be honest. I mean, if Ethereum and Bitcoin go down, they're both going down. So might as well put in the one that's going to give you the better ROI. And then finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for great projects when they're down, like I said before, or look for projects that have been killed by news. Okay, for example, Paid Network got hacked. That's not technically news, but because they got hacked, it went like this, and the price of the coin dropped a lot. Then it bounced back up, and now it's going down a little bit. But I think it's going to go like this because there's nothing about the projects that's changed from this point to right here. It's the same team. It's the same people doing the same thing. It's the same goal. So why can it not get back right here or much further? Okay. And so that's what I'm going to be looking for when I'm investing in this crypto marketplace. And if I was a person who wanted to make as much money with as little risk as possible, what I mean by risk is this. Look, anything could kill this bull run at any second. A tweet from Biden that he's banning Bitcoin would nuke this bull run like this. Bitcoin, Ethereum would both go back to very low amounts. Bitcoin would go back to 20,000, 15, 10,000. Ethereum would go back to $200, $300. And the problem with this is that in order to make a lot of money in Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, you have to hold a lot of it because it's only going up in maybe 10, 50% a month, which is still phenomenal. That being said, you could put a lot less money into altcoins using the strategies I just covered right here. And while they are technically higher risk, I still think Ethereum and Bitcoin are very risky. These things have much more chance of 5, 10xing, and then you could take that money, you could take your original investment out, then you have tons of house money, and then you could really try flipping the altcoin market without having this huge amount of money stored in Ethereum or Bitcoin. So that's it, guys. I wanted to share this with you guys because I know a lot of people watching these videos, you don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to millions of dollars to put in the Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's really the only way you're going to make like super huge crazy gains on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, maybe at least from my thinking, maybe I'm skewed. And I know a lot of people, you maybe want to put in $100, $200, $500 and you want to play it kind of like a casino. That's the best casino methods that I can show you, and those have worked really, really well for me. And like I said before, as long as Bitcoin and Ethereum are going up, this is not always going to be true. For example, you just saw Paid Network crash out of nowhere. That's an example of an altcoin doing altcoin things. That being said, as long as Bitcoin and Ethereum are going up, you go look at the top 50, 100 altcoins. Show me one that is not completely gone nuts besides Chainlink. It's coming. Chainlink's eventually going to do it, but just tell me one. Bitcoin is a rising tide that rises all ships. And in my opinion, I think all that institutional money, when it gets bored with Bitcoin, it's going to fly right into the altcoins. And so does a lot of other people's. So check out that stuff, guys. Again, follow me on Twitter at ZSS Becker because I'm doing all sorts of things like giving away my stimulus check in ADA, and I also point out a lot of projects and NFTs that I think that I'm getting into without trying my hardest not to shill them. So you should check that out too. And